quick second. So, in the midst of reshoot week, I guess this is reshoot week. You got Superman, James Gunn's Superman reshooting. Then you got Fantastic Four has been reshooting. But I've been hearing a lot more negative stuff about Fantastic Four than Superman. I'll be honest with you, I'm not looking forward for this film. Because, again, I'm not a fan of the, just in general, of the changes they've done to Mr. Fantastic and Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm is no longer a womanizer, which is like, that's part of his character. Again, they want to be like, very, I don't know. It's just, stop changing certain things about a character because society, it just still, I don't know. I'm at the fence of, you can still make that into the in the movie, but by the end of the film, he should learn from it and no longer be the womanizer he once was when he first began. Tell a story with that. But that's great filmmaking, that's great storytelling. And I feel like these people who run Marvel and DC and all that, they don't have that great talent of storytelling. That's what I want to say. Excuse me. And I'm definitely not a fan of Piero Pascal or whatever, Piero Pascal, whatever. I just don't care for it. Clearly, me butchering his name, I don't care. His best role was The Mandalorian because he wore a mask. That's all I had to say on that. Anyway, Jeff Snyder. It's back in the news again. There's now stuff coming out about the Fantastic Four reshoots. So what Snyder has said, this is what he's heard from his source. My source called both it mid and meh, and not that bad, but not that good either, which is fine. I don't need it to be great because none of these films have been great. However, I need the Avengers Doomsday to be amazing because the last two were amazing. These films, not so much, but I'm not paying to see it if it ain't good, which I did not hear. More concerningly, they said it's featured weak character development, oh boy, and bad CGI. Well, that will make me not want to go see it. Though the latter issue will certainly be addressed over the next month. More so, exactly. In general, Marvel doesn't do public test screening unless they're worried. That was the case with the Eternals. Yeah, they should have done that. The Marvels, God. Ant-Man and the Quantumania, and Captain America Brave New World. Yeah. Excuse me. While I heard that Marvel was high on the first steps internationally, a separate industry source who has not seen the finished film himself has sounded the alarm in recent weeks that the film is a mess and a huge problem for the movie. That said, it sounds like Galactus went over well with the crowd last night, which is encouraging seeing as how Marvel has a villain problem as of late. Look, they have more than a villain problem. They have a production problem. They have a writing problem. They have a direction problem. The villain thing, I ain't worried about that no more. You just need to make sure you got a good film. That's what I need to do. So, as of right now, this is a separate report. And this is from comicmoviesnews.com. I don't know if I said that earlier. They have stated that right now the film rating from what people have said about it is between a 6 and a 10. Well, that's not good. I expect it's a 7, but okay. So, but still, if it's at a 6 and a 10, and they're like, oh, the VFX effects were all done, etc., etc. I remember Wolverine and the X-Men came out years ago, and it shut down this movie website I used to go to illegally. This is back when I was high school. And they didn't show the VFX effects and all that, and they were done. But that movie was like a 7 for me. I enjoyed X-Men Origins Wolverine. It got some problems. I mean, don't get it wrong, but it was very enjoyable. Hell, that movie is better than what they said. The Eternals, the Marvels, Ant-Man, all that movies I said earlier, even Captain America. Hell, I watched Blade Trinity again. Blade Trinity is better than most movies we get today from the superhero genre. That's sad. And that movie had nothing but problems. That goes to Wesley Snipes. So, anyway, moving on. The general reaction I'm hearing is okay, but it's not a big sample size. A couple of people have said first act shaky, but it gets better once Galactus shows up. So, okay. Worth noting, I've heard the film is very unfinished, which is fine. I mean, they still got time. Much more than you expect from something coming out in 2 months. Oh, well, scratch what I just said. That is bad. I mean, if you talk about VSX, you got Galactus, who's a goddamn kaiju at that damn point. But if they still ain't got that stuff done, that's a problem. Adding that, it sounds cute, funny, and kinky, cool, whatever. Reaction are more consistent with okay. That's at this point, I think Marvel would do. They take okay. They just want money. Will this film make money? Where Superman reactions, and this is what he said, John Snyder. Where the Superman reaction has swung wildly between love, like, didn't like, hate. That ain't good either. So both of those reactions ain't good. Here's my thing from this whole. I'm not really gonna focus on Superman too much, but I do want to focus on Fantastic Four. I'm gonna tell you what I think. Marvel needs this to make money. I don't think they care for the reception or the ratings. They just want the money. The money Marvel needs to make for this film, if I remember right, it was between 200 million, $900 million. That's probably what they need. They will want a billion, but let's be realistic. This film ain't gonna make $1 billion. However, we don't know. We don't know. So, but 800 million. Now, when somebody said, well, Superman needs 700 to be successful, they need $800 to $900 million on a good day. $1 billion, they're good. The difference from Superman and Fantastic Four is Marvel can take hits, not too much, but they can take hits. The Superman film can't take a hit. This is the first film into this universe, and if it bombs, this universe is dead. If the Fantastic Four bomb, they'll go course correct, and they'll just figure out how to make the Fantastic Four more fantastic or more on the line of the Incredibles, how people love them, and they'll figure that out. Do I think they'll get another film? No, but I do think they'll figure it out. This one, I'm not too worried about this as much because I don't care for it. I'd rather we get a damn Incredibles live action than this. But if Disney's doing it, I don't want to. I saw the Lilo and Stitch film. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't better than the anime movie. And I don't think this is going to be better than the Incredibles. I really don't think so. But again, we're hearing a lot of reports about these films reshooting, reshotting. That's not good. Y'all films are coming out in 2 months. Y'all doing all this. What the hell? What y'all doing? You know? And also, I hate to say this too. If you don't have faith into the project, stop hiring these directors. Hire people you know where you don't have to go back behind them. Hire people you know you don't have to do many reshoots or reshots or course correct. That's the problem Marvel has. That's the problem Warner Brothers has. You hiring James Gunn from the Marvel camp. But here's the thing, though. Marvel has a Marvel formula problem, and DC has a problem, an identity problem. They want to be Marvel, but in reality, the general audience is turned away from that Marvel formula. So DC is like, what we do, go back to what you did the first time, because people are now looking at those type of films. They want the dark edginess type of film because, again, Marvel has done a piss poor job, and DC, of giving them the same type of Marvel formulaic formula film that now they're tired of it. Why do you think Deadpool Wolverine was good? They took that formula, threw it out the window, and put a new spice to that formula. Yes, it still has the comic jokes, but it's an R-rated film, so it's a different form of comedy. It's a more raw comedy, where Marvel is still that Disney go-lucky comedy that fans are disinterested. Excuse me, or disinterested. I can't even talk right now. They're not in love with right now. Okay, so anywho, as always, guys, like, subscribe, peace. Have a Johnson day. I don't want to make a video longer than what it is, but comment below, let me know what you think. And if you guys gonna see Fantastic Four, tell me what you think about it. Am I seeing this right? That 20th Century Studios. Oh, I see what they did here. Oh, whatever. Peace. Have a Johnson day.